Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Want to pop in. I got to work here in about 50 minutes. But let me tell you something. I want to talk to you today about help you understand, you cannot, when you get new knowledge and you're on a page like mine, when you get new knowledge, it's not about hating men. See, it's some women out here who have a voice, and it's about hating men. It's about not trusting any man. It's about not trusting any man you meet, business professionals you work with, pastors, life coaches. It's about hating men. It's about they all against us. They all not, and they might mention one person out of the millions of men that you could trust, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy. It's ignorant. And it lets you know that a person is still hurting. It lets you know that a person still hurts. See, I done had money stolen from me in business, but I still do business. I ain't going out here thinking every single person gonna try to steal from me. I look at them, I get their quote, I get another quote, I compare it. I see if they equal talent level, I go with the person who got the best price. If the talent is the same level. If somebody charge more, but they got better talent or better products or better services, then I pay more than paying less. But I don't just sweep everybody with the same broom, because everything does not apply to everybody. But you got people out here that you'll come to a place to where you get knowledge and it makes you scared instead of making you confident. See, if you're still scared, that means you haven't learned enough. That means you haven't listened enough, because it should not make you scared. It should make you confident, because now you know what to look for. So understand that my page is not about man bashing. It's not about woman bashing. It's about illuminating the toxic behaviors in our world, in our relationships, in our life. I got videos on family relationships, friend relationships, and business relationships. It's about you getting the knowledge. See, they say knowledge is power, but why is knowledge power? Knowledge is power because it builds confidence. The more you know, the more confident you should be. But you can't go into the world and because this person hurt you, now you hate every other man. Because this man got caught cheating and he has a platform, now every man is a dog. Because this coach slept with his client, not every coach is a dog. Or even 99% of coaches is dogs. You can't do that. You got to look at, okay, this is what he did. These were the red flags. These were the symptoms. These were the precursors. This was the antecedent behavior. So now I got this knowledge. When I go over here and I get in this here coaching session, or I go to this church, or I'm in the office in corporate with this person, I'm watching them. I'm giving them, a clean slate to show me who he or she is. And I'm reading and I'm responding. I'm not reacting, because that could be negative. I'm reading and I'm responding. And I'm looking to see and I'm listening to hear, and I'm not prejudging. I'm allowing this person to show me who he or she is. And that is the benefit of knowledge. But see, what you got to realize is people speak from where they are. If you go and you around somebody, a friend, family member, YouTube talking head like myself, life coach, pastor, consultant, advisor, if they sound like they're angry, if they sound like they're hurting, if they cussing people out, calling people out their name, cursing at people, if they look broken, sound broken, they're broken. You also got to look at people's life. You got to look at what's going right in their life, what's going wrong in their life. And what you realize is people speak to you from where they are. People speak from where they are. So if somebody is single, they're going to have a certain viewpoint. If somebody's single and happy, they're going to have a certain viewpoint. If they're single and frustrated, the viewpoint gonna be different. If they're single and desperate, the viewpoint is gonna be different. If they're married and unhappy, the viewpoint is gonna be different. If they're married and happy, the viewpoint is gonna be different. So you have to look and say, where do I want to be? Is this person that's speaking to me where I want to be? If this person is single and hurt and bitter and angry, and I'm single, I don't want to be where they at. If I'm married and the person I'm listening to is married and unfaithful, or married and not happy with their spouse, I don't want to hear what they're talking about. But if I'm single or if I'm married and the person speaking is single and happy or married and happy, I want to be there. If the person is broke, busted, and disgusted, and I'm broke, busted, and disgusted, I don't want to hear them. If the person is wealthy, spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, and I'm broke, busted, and disgusted, I want to hear what they got to say because I want to be there. If the person is successful and in every aspect of life, not just money, and I'm not there, I want to listen because I want to be there. You get what I'm saying? So see, you can't just hear the message. You got to evaluate the messenger. You also got to look at the message. You got to do your due diligence. You got to look behind the scenes. You got to see what you could see. You got to discern what you could discern, feel what you can feel. And when you see this, you're going to see, oh, okay, this sounds like hurt. This sounds like pain. And I remember I went through that. I remember I had this following on Twitter, and I was tweeting. And I remember one time a lady came and she tweeted me, and she tweeted, she said, I can't believe y'all follow at Tony Gasson and that y'all think this motivational. This is not motivational. And I had to look at myself at that time, and I realized my tweets was coming from a place of me against the world. I'm all alone. Everybody hating on me. They jealous of me. They don't want to help me. They watching me. They stealing from me. They against me. I realized that she was actually right in that, because I wasn't in a happy place. I was in a frustrated, angry place because I felt like I was alone and like I was all by myself and like I was climbing alone, and technically I was. Didn't have a manager, didn't have an agent, didn't have a publicist, didn't have a team. I was working alone. And at times it was frustrating. At times it was depressing. And I would speak from that place. So if you was following me and you was giving into it and you didn't see it a certain way, it could feed you the wrong way. And I had to change that. This was 2009, 2010. I had to change that. And I had to go to a place of motivation, a place of hope, a place of belief, a place of I'm climbing, I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm going, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm content, but yet I'm hungry. I'm thankful for everything I got, but I'm not going to be complacent. I'm going to keep pressing. And see, that's where you got to make sure your friends, your family, the people you listen to online, you got to evaluate where they speaking from. I don't talk broke. Don't talk to me broke minded. Don't talk to me scarcity minded. I get on my wife all the time and say, listen, don't call nothing expensive. Ain't nothing expensive. Ain't nothing. It's expensive because you can't afford it. But if you see it as affordable, you're going to find a means and you're going to create a way to be able to get it. I heard a pastor say that. He said it ain't expensive, it's expensive because you can't afford it. Heard a pastor say that. Pastor Poe, God rest his soul. And I say, man, so I can't get mad. I can't get mad at somebody because they pair of socks cost $30. If they pair of socks cost $30, but it's paid for out of an account that got $30,000 in it, I can't get mad because my account got $300 and I can't pay $30. A young lady said to me, she's like, well, people don't have hundreds of dollars to be tied up. If they pay for a service, they expect to get the service, get the product. And I think she was alluding to my sessions being booked out sometime more than a month. And I said, well, if the thing is if you can't book a session now that don't happen till 4 or 6 weeks from now, then that means you booking the wrong coach. That means there's a coach that is inside of your budget, and that's where you need to be booking at. You got to go where you supposed to be instead of trying to go into somebody else's territory and then complain that You getting shot at and you getting attacked because you in the wrong territory. You under attack or you frustrated and stressed because you in the wrong territory. Everything ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't for everybody. So you got to go what's for you. So if my message is too hard for you, if it's too direct for you, it's another speaker that speaks a totally different way. That speaker is for you. So you got to make sure that who you around, friends, family, mentors, advisors, coaches, speakers, teachers, preachers, you got to make sure their spirit align with yours. Like for me, my favorite speaker when I was changing my life was Zig Ziglar. You know why he's my favorite speaker? Because he had a country accent, because he did not curse, and because he's Christian. Now, the difference between Zig Ziglar and Tony Robbins is I respect what Tony Robbins said. He said a lot of deep stuff. He said a lot of good stuff, but it wasn't for me because he cursed, and I don't curse. And cursing defiles my spirit. So I don't want to listen to cursing, and I don't want to curse, because what you accept into your mind eventually come out your mouth. So although his stuff was good, because he cursed, I said he's not for me. He for people who don't mind cursing and for people who may curse themselves. I could get the same knowledge, the same type of wisdom, the same level of inspiration, motivation, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and not have to hear a curse word. And so so I went there. And even though I respect other people, so that's what you have to look at and realize, that you can't just broad stroke everybody. Every man ain't nasty. Every man ain't gonna cheat on you. Every man may have cheated, but not even every man has cheated. Most men may have cheated, but that don't mean he gonna cheat on you. That don't mean if he done put hands on somebody before, that don't mean he gonna put hands on you. But if you see the sign, you learn the sign, you see the sign, you see he verbally, it's emotionally, I know physical next, let me go. But if he a whole changed person, then I did a whole lot of stuff. But my wife don't judge me for what I did in my past. She judged me for how I am with her. Because people grow, people change. And not everybody the same. See, it's some managers that's stealing. Every manager don't steal. It's some supervisors that's toxic. Every supervisor ain't toxic. It's some coaches that sleep with their clients, that prey on their client. Every coach don't prey on their client. So you can't just look at everybody and say, all of these men against us, all of these women against us. And you can't, and that's the problem right now. And that's why we failing. It's because we're not getting knowledge with wisdom and discretion and going out to look for the best in people and look for the best in the world. We going out looking to be hurt, looking to be taken advantage of. We going out and we looking at everybody with a side eye. We going out and we doing that. So therefore, we just broad stroking everybody. And that's how you lose in life. That's how you trip yourself up. That's how things don't go your way. So you have to come to a place of peace. And when you have peace, you have prosperity. In every aspect of life, it's going to come when you create peace in your life. And you have peace by building confidence through knowledge and understanding. That means you're getting lessons, you're learning. You're not broken, you're not hurting, you're not hating. And a lot of people are so broke mentally, emotionally, and spiritually that it makes them hate other people. It makes them angry. And you got to get beyond that. And when you get beyond that and you start to get lessons and you start to heal and you start to grow and you start to say, yes, I was abused. Yes, I was cheated on. Yes, I was dogged out. Yes, I was taken advantage of. And yes, it happened more than once. But I'm going to heal so that I can start with a clean slate and I can move forward and not penalize the next person for what the last person did to me. But a lot of people still living in the same pain that hurt them. Whatever they call it, narcissistic abuse or whatever term that they give it, they still allowing it to affect their life because they're angry. They got to drink. They got to curse. They got to go off. They got to call people names, call them out their name. They got to attack people and people who ain't did nothing to them, people that they don't even know, people that they ain't got no receipts on. They got to lump them up. lump him up and say, oh, there must be evil just because he a man. He must be against us just because he a man. Just because this life coach slept with his client, every YouTube life coach sleeping with their client. Just because this person scamming people out their money for apps or for tax returns or for credit repair, then everybody who got a course is a scam. I see so many people that think that if you have a course, you're a scammer. Just because it's a whole lot of people with courses who scamming. So now everybody with a course all of a sudden is a scammer. So then people patting themselves on the back for not having a course. You hurting yourself. You hurting yourself that the only time you could teach somebody is when you on the phone with them one-on-one. Instead of them being able to watch your course at 1 o'clock in the morning while you sleeping. You hurting yourself for not having a course just because it's fake people that have a course. My wife taught me that. Because I stopped relationship coaching because I saw fakes become relationship coaches. I saw guys who were not married, or was married and were not faithful. They were coaching and teaching on love, but were not living what they were teaching. I stopped doing it. Around 2014, 2015, I started tweeting and talking about business and entrepreneurship. And my wife told me, she said, listen, you can't come down from your seat, just from your spot, just because somebody else is in the space doing it the wrong way. Just because the space is being critiqued and criticized because of the bad apples. You got to be the one person. If you're going to be in there, if you the only one, you got to be the one that bring hope to say that some people doing it with a genuine heart. You got to be that person. Because if you come down from your spot that God done put you in, the devil gonna sit somebody in that seat and they're gonna lead people astray. And those people, it's on your hands because you know you got the message that God is giving you to help people, but you relinquish your space. You gave up your space because you didn't want to be lumped in with other people. That's a part of the territory. My wife told me that in so many words. That's what she said to me. And I came back to do what God called me to do, what I have been doing for free for 3-4 years. Wasn't no money in it, wasn't nobody there, and I was relationship coaching. I was teaching on healthy love and relationship because I had made all the mistakes. I was doing it for free. And then when money got involved, people started seeing and people started assuming that some of the money I had came from relationship coaching when really it came from outside business deals that had nothing to do with relationship coaching. And they came in with the wrong spirit, with the wrong motives, and they watered down, they mucked up the waters, and then people was getting hurt, and then people were lumping me in with the people who was doing it with the wrong intention, with the wrong motives. And still to this day, people ain't never met me, ain't never heard from my wife, talk to my wife, see how happy and blessed my wife feels, ain't watched the video where I got my wife on the live with me, and will lump me in with every other person. And that's the same thing that's happening in our world today. Women are lumping every man in with the man that hurt them in their last relationship. Men are lumping every woman in with the same woman that hurt them in their last relationship. So now it's men versus women instead of men and women. Instead of us helping each other, building each other, educating each other, pushing one another forward, encouraging and engaging and creating healthy dialogue, it's all about men, a lot of men teaching hate women, and a lot of women teaching hate and don't trust men. And it's all because they speaking from their past hurt. I had a girlfriend that slept with 5 of my teammates, with 5 other athletes, 4 of my teammates and 1 basketball player when we was in college. You'll think that'll make me not trust any woman and hate all women and be on here teaching women are cheaters, women are cheaters, women are dogs. Am I teaching that? If anybody who know my message, am I teaching you that all women dogs and you can't trust none of these women and all these women against you? No, because I healed from it. I forgave for it. I forgave myself for the stuff I did wrong. I forgave the women who did wrong to me. And I teach a message from a healthy place of a happy marriage. I teach from that place. And so you got to evaluate when you hear people talking, you got to look behind the scenes. You got to look at where this person operating from. Is this what happiness sound like? Is this what peace sound like? Is this what blessings and abundance sound like? Is this what clarity sounds like? Is this what the word of God? Is this what somebody who being called to purpose by God, is this what they sound like? Is this the representation of purity, of peace, of blessings, of happiness, of joy? Is this what it looks like? If that ain't what it look like, you got to realize you analyzing the tree, and you will know the tree by the fruit it bears. So don't just lump everybody in. Don't just sweep everybody under the same rug. Don't go through your life operating from your pain and from your brokenness and from the stuff you done been through. Because that's what's going to cost you, and you're going to continue to live that cycle. Because you believe, because you were hurt, because you were with a narcissist, because you were in that space, that now everybody you meet is a narcissist. Everybody you meet is an abuser. Everybody you meet is a cheater. Because you still operating from that same space. You got to understand and know the difference. And I'm going to tell you like this right here. Spirits going to offend spirits. Pure spirits going to offend toxic spirits. So when a toxic spirit likes and approves of another spirit, you best to believe that spirit is either toxic or the spirit is indifferent. It's ineffective. What I mean is, you're going to have some people who have a message that panders or that pleases everybody. That message is indifferent. That message has no anointing on it. That message is not called, because when your message is called, you're going to offend people. Everybody not going to agree with you. People going to want to argue and debate with you, because even the good book say Jesus come to bring a sword. Not sword. I always say sword. My son get on to me. He say, Dad, just because there's a W in there, hey, I say stuff the way it's spelled. Sword. Jesus come to bring a sword, because that word will rightly divide. As the Bible says, it will rightly divide. Everybody not going to agree when you coming from a pure place. When your heart is pure, when you operating in righteousness, when you coming to bring clarity, people gonna bring confusion, because they can't handle that truth, because it is repelling their spirit, because you operating from a pure place, from a whole place, from a righteous place, and they want to operate from brokenness, from bitterness, from hate, from anger, from jealousy. So you're gonna butt heads. You're gonna butt heads, and you got to understand that some of the people you listening to operating from a place that you don't want to be at. But see, some people are comfortable in their mess. Some people want to hold on to their hate. Some people want to hold on to their bitterness, because that serves them. Because it is too painful for them to relinquish the hate, to relinquish the pain, to relinquish the bitterness, to let it go, to be healed, to be renewed is too painful. Because you got to go in a season of darkness, to where you in your cocoon and you coming from a caterpillar and you getting ready to be a butterfly, but nobody don't know what it's like to be shut up, to be shut down, and to be in that cocoon. Nobody don't know what that feel like. To not be able to see, to not be able to hear, to feel like you lost it all just on the other side to get your wings. Nobody don't want to go through that process, because it's painful to heal from pain, because you have to forgive. You got to forgive the person that you call a narcissist. You got to forgive him or her. You got to forgive the people who have beat on you, cheated on you, lied to you, stole from you, deceived you. You have to forgive them. So you will rather go and listen to people who still hurt, who still broken, who still angry, who brushing everybody with the same stroking everybody with the same broad brush, because they're still hurting, and they hurting with a big mouth. So now you feel good, and you done found your leader, because they hurting, they angry, they hate men or they hate women. And now because you love being in that place of hate and bitterness and brokenness, guess what? You feel right at home. But when somebody tell you to forgive, When somebody tell you to forgive and forget, what I mean is to forgive and not remind them of the offense, and not keep reminding yourself of the offense, but to forgive. When somebody tell you to do that, it hurts, because you say, no, it feel good hating. It feel good going and hitting the thumbs down on every video. Video ain't even played 3 seconds. Thumb down. It feel good to be blocking and people who ain't did nothing to me. It feel good to be bashing people that I ain't got no receipts on. I ain't got no receipts of them not living what they preaching. But it just feel good to believe that they fake. It feel good to believe that they a liar, that they a cheater, that they a scammer. It just feel good. Because I don't want to believe that people could be good. I don't want to believe that a black man could genuinely be online trying to help men and women. I don't want to believe that about black men. I want to believe all black men is dogs, is liars, is charlatans, is scam artists. I want to believe that every black life coach, every black pastor, every black author, teacher, except for one, except for the one that don't offend me, I want to believe every other one, except for the one who message I agree with 100%, every other one is a scam artist. Because it feel good to believe that. It feel good. Because I'm still hurting from the abuse that I lived through. The cheating that I'm still hurting, so it feel good to take that pain out on this innocent man online who ain't did nothing to me, who message ain't never hurt me, who message ain't never had me jump off no cliff, who message ain't never told me to do anything to myself, to hurt myself, to go and give my body away, who message ain't never told me to give men all my money, give men my body, give men who don't deserve my time, to forgive men for putting hands on me, to forgive men for cheating on me over and over, to forgive men for dogging me out. The man ain't never told me to do nothing crazy like that. But I just want to be angry with him because he looked blessed and he looked happy and he married and he say he faithful, but I don't want to believe men could be faithful. So I want to hate him, and I want to call him a MFer, and I want to call him a no good sorry man, and vice versa with the men to the women. I want to believe every woman, these men, they out here, they want to believe every woman is a cheater. They want to believe every woman cheat more than men. They want to believe every woman is more conniving and scandalous than men. They want to believe that a woman has no good interest for a man's life. That's what they want to believe. You got to be careful who you surround yourself with and who you listen to. See, I want you to believe that love is possible. I want you to believe, based on my marriage, that love can be pure. That you could be 100% faithful to one another and you could be 100% happy. But I got a video. It's a long video now. It's a long video. And it's more than 2 hours long. It will be the first video I done did that's longer than 2 hours, where I'm just talking to the camera, telling my whole story, what got me to this point. And if you care to listen to it, I'm probably going to release it on Saturday or Sunday. And I want you to hear it. And you're gonna see really what a genesis is, what started me on this path. And you're going to be able to kind of hear and see the difference between the real and the fake. I'd much rather be doing something else, I'll be honest with you, because it's draining doing what I do. It got my voice hurting right now, and I got to coach in 20 minutes. Got my voice hurting right now. You got to get riled up. You got to be effective and fervent in your prayer life. You got to live right. If I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't doing this right here, right now, I could be doing anything. I could be cheating. I could take the easy route right now and be cheating. But I can't cheat. I can't cheat because I'm in love with my wife. And some women want to hear that love is the only thing it takes to keep a man faithful, and that's not true. That's not true. It's a combination of things. It's my love for my wife, it's my love for God, and it's my purpose. Because I know it's people that listen to me, that believe what I'm saying, that utilize what I talk about in their life. I know those people counting on me and looking up to me to say, hey, you represent something that I want to believe is true out here. So if I go and I cheat on my wife, I cost a lot of souls. I let a lot of people down. So I made mistakes in my past, and I had to grow from the mistakes. I had to change those mistakes. When I became a man, I had to turn over a new leaf. It was probably 25 years old for me when I made up my mind that I was going to do better. I still came close to making mistakes. I still made some mistakes, but just wasn't bad as others. And I had to learn from it. So I come to a place in my life today to where I'm trying to be perfect. I know they say perfection is not attainable, but I'm pursuing it. Because I know, I think it was Vince Lombardi that said, if you pursue perfection, you're going to catch excellence along the way. On the way. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that because I know that it's bigger than me. I know it's bigger than me. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people want to believe the worst. A lot of people want to lump everybody in. Look, because I know how many devils out there, and because I know it's hard to trust people, it's only a handful of people that do what I do that I truly believe doing it for the right reason. But I believe the people who doing it for the wrong reasons, I believe that because they keep talking and because they talking, that eventually God gonna convict their spirit and they're gonna get right. I believe when you helping people, even if the people who helping people for the wrong reasons, I believe eventually their spirit gonna be convicted and they're gonna get on the right path. I see guys that do what I do that never used to mention God, that mention God every day now. And I believe that it could be because they saw me mentioning God. I believe that influence. I believe that. And so that's why I say, hey, I'm praying for everybody. I pray everybody find their purpose. I pray everybody's heart is renewed. I pray everybody's mind is renewed. I pray everybody find healing, find peace, find prosperity. And whatever you're doing, I pray that it's purposeful. And I pray that it's profitable. I pray that you're blessed. I pray that you have balance in your life. So I ain't wishing bad on nobody. And I ain't going to believe bad about people. You got to show me that you're bad for me to believe that you're bad. And if you show me that you're bad, I'm not going to believe that the whole male species or the whole female gender is bad just because 1 or 2 or 3 or even 10 or even 20 people showed me that they was bad. I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to live that way. I'm not going to live in that prison. So understand that. Be careful now who you hang around. Be careful who you listening to. Because some people still operating from brokenness, bitterness, anger, jealousy, and hurt. And if you ain't careful, that's contagious. And you're going to catch it. Just like the 19 going around, all these spirits going around too. Just as contagious, even more contagious, and even more costly. Even more costly. Hey, it's Tony Gasson. God bless you. I'm tired. I done been talking 3.5 hours today. So, hey, I got to go. God bless you. My body fatigued. I got to go. God bless you. We'll talk soon.